Hey guys, Lizardlea here for Monster Hunter Kulu. That's three separate words. I feel like I said that too quickly. Kulu Yaku. No, I said it too slowly. I don't know. It's really cute. It's white and yellowish, like I've already pulled out the colors and everything. Woo. So, it should be fun.
All right, continuing with the questions. David's not here, so this is going to be very boring. I apologize. That's just life now. I don't know. 159. If you built a themed hotel, what would the theme be and what would the rooms look like? Oh man, I have no idea. I mean, I always enjoy the episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race that where they have to theme a hotel. I think they've only done that in All Stars, but like it's so much fun. Or a club, like they have to theme like a room of some kind or something, and none of those. um, I mean Disney would be awesome, and then like you could be a princess, you could be a prince, you could be like flounder and have a watery place. You don't even have to be the main character. uh, I would probably get sued to high heaven if I did that, so that's out. Uh, I'm eating dragons. I could put just dragons everywhere, and it would. I mean, it would be medieval themed in that case, just because that's like the style. Castles and gargoyles and all that cool stuff. And honestly, if I ever had the chance to stay in a castle or a castle themed hotel, that would be freaking amazing. That'd be awesome. Does one exist? I want to go to it now. 160. What scientific discovery would change the course of humanity overnight if it was discovered? Cure for cancer. I think that would change us a lot. I think it would significantly extend the average human lifespan. Um, I mean, I guess just like a way to fix global warming or, the ozone layer, things like that. That would change everything. A way to literally just create food and clean water out of nothing would save so many lives every minute. Granted, someone somewhere would patent it and be like, oh, it's so much money. And, yeah. Um, a way to turn invisible. I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff that, like, the world would just change as we know it. 161. Do you think that humans will ever be able to live together in harmony? I mean, honestly, no. I think there will always be at least one person, if not a group of people, that just inherently don't like the others. That's just reality. Like, it would be wonderful to live in a world where we all get along, but it's not realistic. Like, there are just people out there that I don't get along with. Like, I don't like murderers and all those other horrible kinds of people. And I'm never going to get along with them. I'm never going to be able to live with them in harmony because I'm morally against what they do. And, they might be able to live in harmony with me if I am not one of the people that they want to murder. In which case, with this question, I'm the person that has an issue and isn't in harmony with someone else. So, do we take me out in that case? Or do we take out the murderers? Like, are they the minority? Is that what we're going to start doing now? Like, yeah, I don't think so, unfortunately. 162. What would your perfect bar look like? Oh, like a bar to go drink at. Okay. um, Clean, well lit, no smoking. I don't know, I guess filled with like nerdy stuff. I've had a lot of people tell me about oh, what is it called? They're actually the Millennial Falcon. Millennium Falcon? I have to Google it, sorry. Las Vegas, I guess Nerd Bar? See if it comes up. No, there is the Nerd Las Vegas, so that doesn't work. I mean, I guess that could be it, but it's. I think it's the Millennium Falcon. Millennium Falcon Bar? Millennium Fandom! That makes more sense if that's it. I mean, that sounds right. You know, like I was thinking the Millennium Falcon, which is Star Wars. I think looking through the pictures on Google, I think that's the one all of my friends have told me I'd enjoy going to. But I'm not a drinker, so perfect bar for me will never exist because there's always going to be alcohol because it's a bar. I don't know. 163. What's the scariest non-horror movie? It didn't bother me, but I know a lot of people were terrified of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory because of the tunnel scene. Which, yeah, it is scary, but I don't know, it didn't bug me. Versus Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, I was unable to sleep for like 2 weeks until I eventually collapsed. And my mom had to show me V, where Robert Englund played the sweetest, most kind alien in the world. And so I was like, that's the same person and he's just acting? Oh, okay. What was his name? Elliot? I don't think it was Elliot. I'm not sure. If you haven't seen the original V, I highly recommend it. I haven't seen the remake, but I want to. I have heard good things about it. Completely off topic, sorry. Scariest non-horror movie. I don't know. I know I've heard people tell me that Labyrinth scared them, but it didn't scare me. What? All of the movies I can think of that scared me were horror movies. So I don't know. We'll come back to that. 164. What's the most amazing true story you've heard? I don't know. I'm not good at this, you guys. True story. I don't know. Okay, so we're just gonna move on. 165. What's the grossest food that you just can't get enough of? I mean, it's not gross to me then. That's a stupid question. I mean, other people think SpaghettiOs are gross, and I think they're absolutely delicious. But, like, I don't think they're gross. So it's not an issue for me. I don't... Such a weird question. I don't know. Moving along, 166. What brand are you most loyal to? Am I loyal to any brands? Oh! Lee jeans. I am too lazy to check out jeans from other places, basically, is what it boils down to. But also, they're always super duper comfortable. They always fit really well. And I feel like I look good in them. And that goes really far. And, you know, like, they have sales and stuff. So, yeah. It's nice. 167. What's the most awkward thing that happens to you on a regular basis? Me suffering from just word vomit. I talk too much. I try to over-explain because I'm like, you know, if I give them more information than they need, they won't have to ask me a bunch of questions because they'll already have the answers. And For some people, they respond well to that. For other people, it just annoys them. So it can be very awkward when they're just like, Liz, I asked you a yes or no question. Just say yes or no. Don't give me a 10-minute conversation, you know? It's usually not that bad. And I am getting better, especially at work, with being able to tone it down and be just succinct and to the point. And then, you know, if they ask follow-up questions, I'm always like, man, that was going to be one of the things I had answered if I had gone further, but whatever. You know, someone responded. That goes far in my life. 168. If you had to disappear and start a whole new life, what would you want your new life to look like? Rich. If my new life could look however I wanted it, it would look rich. Lots of dragons. I don't know. 169. What movie or book do you know the most quotes from? Clue. It's totally Clue. No questions asked. We're gonna move on now. 170. What was one of the most interesting concerts you've been to? Cher. Cher for sure. Hands down. I mean, I love her music. And I love her. And she's amazing. I saw her only like 2 or 3 years ago. And it's 2021. So like, you know, she's one of the first things she said at the start of her concert was, you know, that she's a grandma, and she's like, or she's old enough to be your grandma, something like that, you know. And then she was like, what's your grandma doing tonight? And she turned around and, you know, she had on a thong and her butt looked amazing. She just stomped off, and it was like, she looks better than me. I'm not even 30, and this woman's old enough to be my grandma and looks better than me. It's just not fair. Granted, I mean, when you have a lot of money, you know, it's to be expected. 171. Where are you not welcome anymore? I've never been kicked out of anywhere. I mean, I don't feel welcome at my old Ross. I know I actually am, but looking back, I'm like, I don't want to go back. And so I don't feel welcome, so I don't go. Or maybe it's not that I don't feel welcome, it's that I just literally don't want to go, and I don't want to run into any people that I used to work with. I go to my old Michaels all the time. It's not the same there. 172. What do you think could be done to improve the media? Report on important things. Like, oh no, this person said something mean on Twitter about this person, and they're both famous, and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Let those people be petty and childish all they want. That has no bearing on my life, you know, versus a kid that's been lost or kidnapped or something, you know, like that could have a bearing on my life. If I were to see that kid out there and I have the opportunity to save them, and having their face on the news is what makes that difference, it's worth it. And I think that would improve the media. Granted, I mean, every person is going to disagree on what they think is important, so I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, I feel like making it less about what the newscaster looks like and more about literally just their personality, that'd be nice. Because, you know, there are some people who are very attractive, but it's like, I don't really like you. You know, like, you're kind of a jerk from what I understand. I'd rather have someone who's not attractive and very nice and kind and funny and charismatic, you know? But the world does not agree. Unless they're male. If they're male, they can be, you know, chubby and overweight and not quite as attractive. But the women have to look amazing. Moving on. 173. What's the most recent show you've binge watched? Critical Role. I don't know if that, like, counts as a show, but I mean, it has over 100 episodes, and they're generally 4 hours each. I'm still not done yet. I'm on episode like 96, I think, and only on campaign 1. Campaign 2 just recently ended. Haven't even started it yet. I'm so behind. But I'm okay with it. Prior to that, it was... Oh, it would have been WandaVision. David and I talked about that in another video, so if you want to hear about that, just go back somewhere. I don't know. 174. What's the worst movie trope? I mean, one of the ones that always just annoys me is when there's a misunderstanding. Like somebody, a girl and her best friend are talking in the kitchen, and she'll just say, he just makes me really angry sometimes. I don't know what's wrong with him. And the boyfriend will overhear that part and walk away. And the conversation will continue, and she'll be like, but I love him so much, and he drives me crazy, and you know what? I wouldn't have him any other way. So he walks away thinking she hates him, and so he'll leave, or he'll say something nasty, and she'll just be like, I don't know what happened. I hate that. That drives me crazy. Like, it's already rude to eavesdrop on someone else, but to not give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, yes, walk away when you realize someone's talking about you. But if it really upsets you or concerns you, go up to them and be like, hey, I heard you talking to your best friend, and you said I drove you crazy, and I want to make sure we're okay. As soon as I realized you were talking about me, I walked away, so I don't know how the rest of that conversation went, but I want to make sure we're doing okay. Like, if there's something I can do to make this better, let me know. Like, you gotta talk. You gotta discuss things. It just drives me crazy. I also hate in disaster movies, there's almost always a couple that's either divorced or broken up, or in some way they get back together by the end of the movie. My mom and I we got like a DVD set of disaster movies. I want to say it was either 6 or 12. I could be wrong. I think it was actually 12. And out of all of the movies, either way, there was only one of them that did not have that. And it made me angry, because it's like getting with someone in any capacity when what you relate to one another with is a disaster does not a good foundation for a relationship make. If that makes sense. Like, there's gotta be more. Ugh. Alright. Are there any other movie tropes I don't like? Well, actually, I'm sure there are plenty, but the question is, can I think of them? Well, of course, when things don't pass, the Bechdel test. That's when women only talk about men. The Bechdel test is, I think that's what, I have to Google it now, sorry. Bechdel, I don't even know how to spell it, oh gosh. Bechdel, okay, Bechdel. Known as the Bechdel-Wallace test, is a measure of the representation of women in fiction. I'm just going to go with the Wikipedia one. It asks whether a work features at least 2 women who talk to each other about something other than a man. The requirement that the 2 women must be named is sometimes added. But yeah, like if the only time there's a girl on screen, if all she does is talk about a boy, that's kind of like, really? Like, girls do have other interests, but whatever. What else is there that annoys me? I don't know, I can't think of any other ones. 175. What's a common experience for many people that you've never experienced? Going to school with the same people basically your whole life. Like from elementary school to high school and almost to college. I know so many people that, like David's best friend, he's known since elementary school. And I'm just like, I met my best friend at work when I was in college. So, yeah, like the people that I knew when I was in elementary school, that was before the internet. So, like we wrote each other letters for a while, And then, life just happens sometimes, so it doesn't continue, unfortunately. 176. What are some misconceptions about your hobby? Well, cross stitching, that would be that, it's only for old people, that it's only floral stuff. That's hard. It's not difficult. Like, the only things keeping someone from cross stitching would be like poor eyesight or poor hand eye coordination, um, or arthritis, carpal tunnel, things like that, like actual physical issues that will keep you from doing it. But otherwise, anyone can do it. You can get a fabric that's like sized 10 8 cloth, and you'll be able to see where the holes are. And if you can't thread a needle, there are threaders for that. It makes it so much easier. So, yeah. That's all I got. 177. What's the smartest thing you've seen an animal do? Okay, so I'm going to limit this one to ones that I have actually seen myself. Because watching video clips, yeah, there have been some ingenious things animals have done. For me, I think it's between my parents' cat right now, Stitch, who I'm sure you guys have seen in a few videos back when I was not living with David. He can reach up and open doors, so that's fun. And our cat Graybeard that we had until I was in, gosh, 7th grade, I think, he would use his teeth to open up little cat treats. It was Pounce was the brand, but it was just a little plastic tub, and it had the plastic lid that you peel it off. You don't have to twist or anything. But he would get his teeth around it and he could open it up. And it's just, like, cats realize, oh, hey, this is what's keeping me from what I want. This lid is keeping me from the treats I want. I'm going to get rid of it. Oh, this door handle opens up and lets me into the room where Mom is. I want in there. And I think that's really smart. I think that's a sign of intelligence. But that could just be me. I don't know. 178. What's the most annoying noise? The most annoying. I'm not sure. Like, I know that, like, nails on a chalkboard is just, like, painful. But I don't know if I would put that under annoying. It's painful. Annoying, I can handle, and I'm just irritated. I can't handle nails on a chalkboard. I just want to run away and cry. So, annoying. I mean, babies crying. That's an annoying noise. But the point is for it to be annoying so that you give the baby attention and make it feel better. So, it has a purpose. Still annoying, but it has a purpose. Most annoying noise. You know what was really annoying back in the day? Dial-up internet. That noise was so annoying. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Ugh. That's all I have. 179. What's your haunted house story? The only one I have is the first one that I have. Went to a haunted house. I thought everything was funny. I was in kindergarten. I didn't really understand it. And the girl that was with my mom and I started crying at everything. And then something like clicked for me, and I understood what was happening. And and then I thought it was real. And I remember we got to one room where, like they're digging into this guy's stomach, and it looks like it's his guts. It's actually spaghetti. But we were both crying and sobbing, and the guys were like, no, it's spaghetti, honey, it's not real, it's spaghetti. And we were still sobbing. And eventually we got out, and if I get too close to a haunted house, don't even go in, just too close that I can hear certain sounds, I will start crying. I don't do haunted houses. Like, even if I know that no one in there is allowed to touch me, so I'm not going to get hurt, I can't do it. And I love horror movies, so everybody thinks I love haunted houses. I don't. That is not a Liz thing. 180. What did you Google last? Oh God. What did I just Google? The Bechdel test. Yes. I remembered. I'm proud of myself. I win today. 181. What's the dumbest thing someone has argued with you about? I don't know. Like, I know there are things that I think are dumb, but I remember having an argument with someone so I've always been pro gay marriage. Like, I think you should be allowed to marry whomever you want so long as both parties are consenting and of age. So that means animals are out. They can't give consent. No, you can't marry a tree. You can't marry your pillow. You have to marry another person, and they have to want to marry you. So, but the other person was like, I'm against it because I don't want my taxes to go up. And I, to this day, think that is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Like, you think you pay for straight married couples taxes, and what? You think your taxes go up when someone gets married? Like, that's what? Like, what? To this day, I think she's an idiot. 182. If money and practicality weren't a problem, what would be the most interesting way to get around town? I have no idea. A helicopter? It'd be an interesting point of view at the very least, but it'd be very loud. Kind of dangerous. Maybe one of those like carriages that's run by someone riding, like riding a bike at the front. So they have to do all the work and I just get to sit back and enjoy. That would be interesting. And you don't really see that in Vegas. So it would be interesting to other people watching me as well. I don't know how relevant that is, but still. 183. What's the longest rabbit hole you've been down? Like, I'm one of those people, I'm really bad. I will be interested in one thing and I will just, daisy chain the way through a bunch of other things. But I can't think of like a particular example. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. 184. What's the saddest scene in a movie or TV series? Let's see. I always cry when... Oh God. I've only watched the movie twice. I Am Sam makes me cry so much. Like, when he drops the cake for his daughter's birthday, oh, it breaks my heart every single time. It's mended immediately because the daughter doesn't care, but breaks my heart because he's just trying to get there, and he's trying so hard, and it just... Oh my God. I'm gonna start crying just talking about it. I always cry when Goose dies in Top Gun. Can't handle that. What else is really sad? I mean, I haven't seen it, but I know Grave of the Fireflies, a Studio Ghibli film, the sister dies, and just knowing that, I can't watch the movie. So maybe that's the saddest one. Because I literally can't watch it. Like, I feel like if someone's gonna torture me, they're gonna make me watch that movie. I feel like that would be effective. Please don't do that to me. 185. What's the most frustrating product you own? I don't know, my iPhone, because there's so much on it, but it constantly gets updates, and I have to update it. I have no idea. Frustrating? I'm looking around and I don't know, you guys. Frustrating. Pass, I don't know. 186. What inconsequential superpower would you like to have? Inconsequential superpower. To always have a parking spot ready to go for me when I'm going anywhere. Like, I don't think that's major, but just boom, there's a spot for me. I can park. I'm ready to go. That would be nice. Like, I'm all about trying to be on time. So if I'm caught in traffic, yeah, I feel like getting a green light every single time you need one. I feel like that's more than inconsequential. But just getting a parking space, I feel like that's inconsequential. I don't know. That's a really interesting one. I'll have to think about it. Maybe when David gets here, I'll ask him. But that is the end of the video. Enjoy the chicken!
And that is the end of Monster Hunter Kulu Yaku. I got 4 hours and 35 minutes of footage. And I would like to say, I was so excited about doing this one. Because I was like, oh, it's like a fox ninja thing. Like, it's got on a mask. It looks like a kitsune or a Keaton fox or whatever. You know, like the foxes from Majora's Mask. And I was like, this is so cool. And then I started working on it. And I was like, is this a chicken? I think this is a chicken. Then I finished and I was like, that's a chicken. That is not a cute fox thing. That's a chicken. It's got the thing. It's got a beak. It's got an egg. It's a chicken. I was so excited to stitch a chicken. All right, so
It's a chicken list.
okay. That doesn't look like a chicken.
I mean,
No, if you just look black and white, doesn't look like a chicken.
it's got the thing though.
And I thought that was like not a ribbon, and not a scarf. A bandana. I thought it was ribbons from like a bandana. I thought it was a freaking ninja fox thing. Like, it's got the face of a kitsune. If you Google it, Kitsune, it's got the face of one, okay? But it's a chicken. I didn't know. I have nothing else to say. So, like, subscribe, share, comment, all the jazz. I'll see you guys in the next video. Why do you hate me?
I love you.
No, I think you hate me.
I love you the most.
You hate me.
I'm winning, that's why.
No, you hate me.